5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go! You have to listen to my voice, I beg you. 15 downhill, triple caution! Triple cautions! You're not concentrating, you have to listen. Can you please concentrate? Please, please, I beg you. Into double caution jump! Double caution jump! No! Not listening. Shut up. No, I'm just giving you advice. Don't tell me how to drive.
Welcome everybody back to another show of Unpacking Rally as we are getting ready for Dakar. Actually, when you guys are watching this, my guest today, David Pearson, will be in the thick of it, busy doing the Dakar. So without further ado, I would like to present Mr. David Pearson, good friend of mine, as well as a Dakar entrant and ARO team member. David took first place at Cotah. He managed to do a third overall at the Baja Rally in the GP class. And then at the recent Sonora Rally, he was the winner of the Road to Dakar Challenge, third Malle Moto, and eighth overall. So David, welcome to the show. It's great to have you.
Thanks, Willem. It's nice. Aren't we kind of like bunk mates? Isn't that a better term for us?
I wasn't going to get into that so early in the conversation, but let it be known, Dave and I have shared a bed many times.
Yes. With my wife's permission, I must say. Yeah.
Great, man. So how are you doing? How are you feeling? How's things for Dakar? How's it getting on?
Well, as of this recording, it's about 2 weeks out for us for flights to Saudi. So we're just down to the little things, the stuff you don't think about. The FIM license that only opens up the last couple of days, and I've probably repacked my bag about 3 times, and so I'm ready. I'm ready to go. I'm excited. I'm totally ready to go.
You don't want to be sitting down anymore. You want to get on that plane.
Yes. If we could start tomorrow, I would like to start tomorrow. So.
Mm-hmm. So you guys are doing Malle Moto through Bart and Baz Dakar. I actually just had the previous interview was with Henk from HT Rally Raid. What kind of support did you guys get through Baz as far as preparing documents and help with licenses and stuff, just maybe for the viewers who's thinking of using a team? Do they help you in the process, or how does it work?
It was probably one of the biggest advantages for Bart and Bass. The 5 of us that are going over are doing Malle Moto. So, ultimately we're really doing our own support and assistance. But we needed motorcycles. We needed, just logistics support to get there and all the stuff. So Bart really took a whole lot of the registration visa process off of our plate and put that together to make it real simple for us. So that's been probably one of the best pieces of this is we keep getting information about, you got to do this and you got scrutineering and you got to be on the boat and you got to check in vehicles and you got to do all those things. And much of that's been off our plate. Being in the States is tougher, because it's just it's a long way. If you're European, you drive down to France, you drop your bike, your truck, your rig, check in and do stuff. That's not as easy for us. I couldn't bring a motorcycle really across the pond to get it on a boat, to get it across another pond, to get it into, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, look, it's crazy, and there's so much misinformation out there. I was busy for the last few days researching the rule changes, and you Google something and you think you find an answer, and the only answer that is really there is like in a 120-page document from the FIM. So it's crazy. It is unbelievable how much little things they are to keep track of. It's so it really helps to have somebody to assist with that knows their stuff around it.
Well, you're right. There's been a lot of confusion. There's been a lot of confusion about whether we're going to be on digital or on paper road books. There's been a lot of confusion about split routes this year. you've been to enough rallies, well, that some stuff we're not going to have answers to until the riders meeting the day before.
Mm-hmm. So this will air after the fact, but basically what I've found out, it'd be good to hear your opinion on it. As far as from the ASO, is that we it's going to be digital road books. For you guys, you're going to be Rally 2, so it's going to be a choice. Or are you Rally 2, right?
Yeah, technically I'm Rally 2. So.
Okay, so the official line is that there'll only be digital road books from Rally du Maroc in 2023 for the GP class. And then for Rally 2 and Rally 3 this year, you actually get a choice whether you want to go paper or digital.
We, to your point, yes, and we all made the decision to stay on the paper, just for the reliability and the consistency and the,
it's what you're used to, right?
It is. I think for the 5 of us that are going, there's a couple of us that would love to be digital, and I think we would make that leap pretty easy. But we know in the world of time management and just muscle memory and whatnot that we're just better off sticking with what we know. We just don't want to have electrical problems. We don't want to have to solve equipment problems that are foreign to us. So we all basically made the decision to stay on the paper roadbook system. So they've made it a little easier. It comes harder and easier. One, you don't get to look at it, so you really don't get it the night before. You don't get an opportunity to study the course or look at the markings. You get it 20 minutes before the stage starts. To that point, it's colored and it's ready to get loaded. So you just got to deal with putting it in the road book correctly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know it's going to be interesting to see the evolution of the digital road book, which I'll probably have another program completely separate from this, but it's an interesting time. I do think that you guys are going to be seeing mirror routes, but it will be only in the testing phase. So until the road books get handed out on that day, we won't know, but I'm pretty sure you're going to have some alternate routes in this Dakar. So you can't follow the teammate ahead of you.
No, yes, there's going to be a split in the road, and you're going to have to make a decision. Tracks are going to go both ways, and you're going to have to decide: are you on the road book, or are you not on the road book? Have you been, following more than you've been driving and navigating? It's going to be, it's going to be an interesting challenge for a lot of people, and I certainly expect to see more tracks than I have through a lot of the racing I've done the last couple of years. And so that's going to be interesting for a bunch of us,
Mm-hmm. Definitely. And I mean, even the time, okay, you guys are not going to be competing for the top 5 places, but even the time bonuses that they're going to give us, it's really going to shake things up, so it'll be a very interesting new dynamic to see how that works out. And it's going to really, the guys are really going to be pushing to be the first at the waypoint, because you get like a second and a half per kilometer back for the distance between waypoints if you're the first guys to get there. So that's going to be very, very interesting.
Yeah, we talk about it all the time. I mean, we're really, most of the guys on the team are top performers in North America in a lot of the rallies. But we're going there to make 15 days. So we know that we can't push 100% every day. We're not coming in with support. We're not coming in with mechanics. You're not coming in with a shower and an RV and a guy that made your meal. And all those things aren't happening for us. So we know that we have to maintain a pace level for 15 days. You can't just come out and just go right at it. Even though take a guy like Paul, who's very capable and could probably run with the lead of the pack, that's tough decisions for all of us.
Yeah, and look, this is the longest Dakar since 2014. The average stages are going to be, specials are going to be about 450 kilometers. The total special is, all the specials together is almost 5,500 Ks, I think. So it's long. My palms get sweaty just thinking about it.
And the craziness of serendipity, my brother and I and a couple of buddies went to South America in 14 to chase the race. We rented bikes and we just chased it. The only American there that year was Mike Johnson, who you know very well.
I know Mike Johnson. That was the year of the Stater.
It was the year of the Stater, yeah, on his Honda. I found some old pictures of him, but he was the only American entered in the event at all that year. So it's you look at almost 10 years of evolution, and we have 11 Americans going on motorcycles, and it's going to be a red, white, and blue event for sure.
Definitely. So at that point, I mean, for the viewers at home that doesn't know, part of the ARO team is also Jim Pearson, which is Dave's brother. So he's part of the team as well. David, why don't you tell us a little bit more about who you are, short bit of background, and also like why are you going to Dakar? I mean, it's a crazy undertaking, man. Why would you waste your time and money on something like this?
I'm too old to give you a whole lot of background, Willem. I have had the good fortune of doing a lot of adventures in my life. The last 15, 20 years, I've been a motorcycle dealer. I've owned a number of dealerships around the country. So I just sold those and have kind of taken this as an adventure and a bucket list item to do the Dakar. Well, we've been real fortunate. I've been fortunate, I guess. I did racing early in my life, and then I took a break to work hard, and then I got back into racing after a big street bike accident in about 8 years ago, and it got me motivated to get back on the dirt and go do some racing. So put me in the hospital for a couple of weeks in a wheelchair and stuff. So my brother was a big influencer on the rehab setup, and it was kind of one of the goals that I established. And so he jumped on board, and the two of us started rally racing in 2017, and we haven't really looked back from that. We really enjoy the rally. It adds a whole new complexity to racing and a strategy that we've never played with before. So it's a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm. So growing up, did you two as brothers like follow the Dakar? Was it something that was on your radar, or was it something that really only came to the fore as you were getting older?
I've been riding motorcycles since I was 14, but I started on the street on a moped, and we didn't really play in the dirt at all until we got and moved to the States and moved to Colorado. And we found a dirt bike at a garage sale for $50, bought it, rode it for 2 weeks, broke it in half, and next thing you know, we were both deep into motorcycles.
Oh, that's a cool story, man. Wow.
It was we had a bit of a fight about who would ride it more, and then we ultimately doubled it a little bit out at some gnarly dirt stuff in Colorado, and we broke the frame rate in half. And then we got into racing, and we started doing some motocross, which was not really our thing. We wanted longer distances. That moved us to hare scrambles. We wanted longer distances. Then we've heard about these enduros that were 80, 100-mile days, and so we went to do those. We did well. My brother was a AA ranked top performer in the national circuits. We ran the nationals for a couple of years, and then we got into desert. Somebody said, "Well, if you're doing all that, go do the Vegas Torino 500." So we went and raced the Vegas Torino 500. That led us to the Baja 1000. That kind of led us down the path, and then we heard about this crazy thing called rally racing, where you got to race for 5 or 6 days nonstop, and you had to do it with a different kind of complexity. So I think we're at the pinnacle of racing. This is, the Dakar is
without a doubt,
it's the world's biggest and craziest event, and it is, you just can't scratch that off your bucket list without going. You got to go.
No, definitely. I'm so excited for you guys. I think, especially in the Malle Moto bivouac, I think the energy, the just that general day-to-day feeling that you have in the bivouac of the Malle Moto camp is not is good at any given day. It's special at any given day, but to have 5 friends together, that's kind of, it's for me, even before you guys did it, I've always said that if I do Malle Moto, the one prerequisite I have is to do it with friends, because it's going to be such a memory that you have for the rest of your life. That I know you make friends in the bivouac, but you want to share that with some friends. So I think being a group of 5 guys doing it together it's very, very special. It's super cool.
We've been planning this for over a year, and so we all had the conversation about the fact that the reality was we may not all get into the class. We may not qualify. You know, this event's you got to qualify, you got to compete at a level. And so, you know, there were a number of us that were concerned that we weren't even going to get approved into the class. To have all 5 of us get in was just, it was icing. It was awesome. So, and I agree with you. I get so much bonding and just amazing experience out of the bivouac and the pit stuff. And it's one of the reasons we like it is you're not just going to a race for the day, shaking hands and going home. You're spending days with these people and sleeping with them and going through the emotional swings of
sleeping with them.
Oh yeah, not go there. So, but, you know, when you're tent to tent, everything happens, and you know you get through all the ranges of joy and pleasure and pain and crying and you know that just doesn't, you don't get that bond anywhere else.
Look, it's a full range of emotion, and I mean, people just think that we're a bunch of dirty, roughneck guys riding our motorbikes, when actually we're actually quite sensitive, emotional beings. You know, we do this to reach that emotional state, and I fully agree with you. It's special. So,
I used to say motorcycling was one of the few places men could express color. You know, like
color and feelings. Nobody gives you grief if you sit there crying or if you have a stomach bug or whatever. You know, people understand.
Yep. We used to get blue gear and pink gear and red gear and yellow gear. And, you know, most of us wore blue jeans and a white shirt or a black shirt. And so it's, you know, now you look at just all the color. It's an amazing experience. I love hanging out with the guys that do the races, you know. Mo Hart and I have gotten really tight over the last couple of years of knowing each other in the rally world. And Paul Neff, Kyle has just been inspirational. Every once in a while, he shoots us a quote or a moment that, you know, reminds us that what we're about to do is very daunting, and you have to be mentally prepared. It's just not about the physical aspect. If you're not mentally prepared to run, you know, 8 to 28 hours a day, it's just, you're not going to make it, you know?
Exactly. No, definitely, man. It's going to be intense. And speaking of that, I mean, what is your plans, view? Let's hope and assume and believe that you guys finish Dakar and you come back to the States. What's the life after Dakar look like for the ARO or for David Pearson?
Almost purposely unknown. So I don't know the answer to that. I got to do something, but I don't know what the answer to that one is. And part of me has just been focused on getting this one accomplished. Take a few.
Understandably,
days, you know, it's hard to think about. It's hard a little bit to think about what's next. It's one of the things that rally is good about, is that when you get into rally and you get into race mode and you get into riding mode, you by nature you have to shut everything else off and focus on that one thing. It often brings clarity to the other things. But so for me, I don't know. I'm gonna wing it. I have some stuff involved with a national dealer association, and I'll be in Vegas in February. Sonora's going to be a world event coming up in April. There's a ton of races on the future circuit. I don't know what that looks like for me. So this one's bucket list. I've had a really good year, and so I'm just looking to accomplish the Dakar, and then we'll breathe deep and figure out what's next from there. Cool.
I really love the way that you express the fact that when you shut everything out, that brings clarity. You know, it's so true. I mean, even if I have to think for myself, how many times you would go racing with an issue, you know, and I'm pretty sure you do the same. But you know, I talk to myself when I'm riding, or sometimes shout at myself when I'm riding, especially if I start thinking other things instead of focusing on the race. You know, and I think, like I said, that shutting out of everything else, you know, it almost brings the type of clarity that it brings is almost like it's more of a certainty, because once you're done with the race, you don't even have to think about the problem or the issue. It kind of resolved itself, and you just know what you're going to do after that. So yeah. I love the way that you express that. That is a great way of seeing it.
When you know, when you put your life on the line, everything else doesn't seem as important. You know, the battles, the fights, the things, the challenges, you find your way around them, you know? So I have such a good friend network. Like yesterday, I got the text from Happy Dave, and it was
Mm-hmm.
pretty much when you're really down and you're really pushing through this on day 12, just remember ride happy, ride happy, ride happy, right? And you can't not smile. And I think about the motivational quotes that I have on my piece of paper that go on my Malle Moto box and kind of where they came from, and ride happy is one of those for sure.
Cool.
So,
well, you'll definitely have to send us a picture of your quotes, and we'll put it up with the interview. That would be awesome.
The other's a brother of your fine country, because I finished. I got the good pleasure this year to ride with Joey Evans.
Yep.
And I read his book, and so he's the Paradise to Dakar was quite an inspirational book setup, and so
it's
against his
exceptional
one exceptional, and for a guy that's just taken such a beating, you couldn't get a more positive energy source from Joey. And so one of the things I wrote down on my board was, "You've only come this far. Did you only come this far?" Right? Like, one of the things I think he wrote on his motorcycle, "Did I only come this far to only come this far?" Right?
Or you did it. I think it's you didn't come this far only to come this to get this far.
Right. Mine has come down to, "Did you only come this far?" And enough to trigger me to remember Joey to do my thing.
Yep.
So.
Oh wow, that is so nice, man. I see there's quite a few bikes there in the background. Did you ever find that Torx that's lying around there somewhere?
No, but I did find a nice wheel spacer for a motorcycle I don't own. So
that Torx still gives me sleepless nights. I know it's lying somewhere.
My neighbors still look at me funny after seeing 9 rally bikes in my garage for a couple of weeks in between the Baja and the Sonora. I'll give you that. So.
Well, at least you'll leave them alone now. You'll be quiet for a while doing Dakar, so that'll be good.
Yeah.
Wow. So like I said at the beginning, by the time people watch this, Dave, you will be deep in the thick of the stages. We really hope that it goes well for you. For the entire ARO team, we'll be checking in and we will be supporting you guys as much as we can. Definitely all waiting with bated breath. I know that crossing that finish line is a lifelong dream. So thank you for spending some time with us. I know getting ready at this time of year is difficult because everybody's getting ready for Dakar. Thanks for sharing some of your experiences, and good luck. We cannot wait to see you guys on the start line.
Thanks, Willem. It's been an adventure getting here. I couldn't have done it without a bunch of people. My wife to start off, and really the efforts of the whole crew. KLIM, Seat Concepts, Giant Loop. Those guys have been phenomenal. Recluse has stepped up for me. It's really kind of exciting to have a lot of different people come in and provide the support, both on a team level for us, the ARO, and on an individual level. So we're going to do our best, and we'll see you on the finish line, and we'll have a couple of new American records to celebrate. So thank you.
Definitely. Thank you. Good luck, and we'll chat at the Dakar.
You got it.